of West Precinct. He's the commander of West Precinct. Right now, our patrol officers and detectives are on the scene of a double homicide. How did we get here? Yesterday, our patrol officers completed a missing persons report for two missing persons by the name of 20-year-old Angelia Webster and 20-year-old Christian Norris. They're both 20 years old. They went out on Valentine's Day. Apparently they were going to the movie theater. They were driving a white Ford Taurus. Our special victims unit began investigating this case, and they reached out to the Public Information Division to put this information on social media. We posted this information on social media that we have been looking for these two since yesterday. Our SVU detectives have been working on this case through the whole night, through the whole morning, and just before 4 p.m., those special victim units investigation tactics led them to the 4100 block of 10th Avenue, Wylam. Our detectives, as well as patrol officers, observed a white Ford Taurus, which I have observed myself. It is the vehicle we were looking for, verified by the Alabama license plate that we had information on. Upon further investigation, our officers and detectives observed a young female inside the vehicle, along with a young male inside the vehicle. Both of them appear to be victims of a gunshot wound. They were deceased. Medical personnel pronounced them deceased. And right now in the investigation, we have the Jefferson County Coroner's Office here. We are in the process of making identifications. To the public, you deserve this. We do believe this may be the missing couple. We do believe that.
Can you confirm that the woman was pregnant?
We have heard that she possibly was pregnant.
Can you talk about how the vehicle was located to? The family mentioned that they located through GPS tracker.
Sure. We can't confirm that part. However, we would like to point out that we got here because of the hard work and dedication from our detectives. We have been receiving phone calls from our detectives all morning looking for assistance in finding this couple. And again, we put this on our social media. We had a hopeful, we hoped that this would work out, but it appears we've lost these two to a homicide.
So, to reiterate, how did y'all end up in this alley this afternoon? Did a citizen call in? Did the family call in? How did y'all get here this afternoon?
Detectives' investigation tactics. We're going to leave it as that.
And the car was in an alley?
The car is in an alleyway, yes ma'am.
So if they were found dead inside the vehicle, did no one hear gunshots?
Sadly, we live in a society where gunshots are so normalized that people may not call. However, if you did hear gunshots, please call.
Does it appear that the shooting happened here or that someone drove them here after the shooting?
Unknown at this time.
Okay.
Were they shot when they were inside of the car?
Unknown at this time.
Is there a gun in the car?
Not yet. We're in the process of, not yet discovered, we're in the process of breaking down this scene. The coroner's office is here. We have taken pictures of the scene, and right now we're in the process of notifying family members who are visibly distraught.
But you believe both are victims of homicide?
Both are victims of a homicide. It's important to point that out, with them being a couple, but they both appear to have been victims of homicide.
Is it possible that this location behind this house was used as more or less a dumping spot for this, that the murders happened somewhere else, that the homicides happened in another location and they were brought here?
That could be the case.
Anybody, I'm sorry.
No, sure. 1 second. That could be the case. Again, we're going to need help from the public. If the public has any information, if they saw anything out of place, please let us know.
Does someone live here? Do one of the two victims live here in this area?
No, ma'am. This is not an area that we've gotten any information that was common to the victims.
They are not connected to these houses, the street?
Not that we know of.
Does anyone live in that house where they were found?
Appears to be abandoned. And also, we have to make this reference because we've had a significant scene take place on another side of town. We do not believe this scene is connected to any of the homicides that took place on the north side of town. This is a separate incident.
Going back to that scene, can you confirm the shots were fired at that scene not too long ago?
We're going to stick to this scene here, but we just want to point that out because that may be a question that our media partners have had and the public might have, but is not connected. These are two separate homicide investigations.
What's it like for BPD having to be kind of spread out with so much violence happening in one day? There's 5 people who have lost their life tonight.
Today has been unreal, even for the Birmingham Police Department. Last year, we suffered 135 homicides in our city, which is an alarming number. To sit here and lose 6 community members in one day is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Where does the 6
The 4th person passed away. So we have lost, Birmingham, we have lost 6 of our community members in one day. That is ridiculous. We are going to make national news. We might make international news. 6 homicides in Birmingham in less than 24 hours. It's ridiculous.
The 4th victim that was in surgery at UAB
Passed away.
Okay.
We have lost 6 of our brothers and sisters today due to violence.
How do you get the message across?
Well, first and foremost, we get the message to the public that as long as we keep quiet, people are going to feel emboldened to do violence the way they've been conducting violence. We live in a culture where you can shoot 4 people in broad daylight and nobody has come forward yet. We live in a society where you can kill somebody in the middle of a Birmingham street and no one sees anything. And the issue we have is we do our best to disassociate ourselves from crime. Prime example, I speak to people on the east side sometimes about situations that happen on the west side. You know what they say? Oh, well, that happened on the west side. I live on the east side. I speak to people on the north side about crime in our city. You know what they say? Oh, well, that happened on the east side or the west side. I live on the north side. When is it going to become our city? That is when you'll see change. As long as we keep individualizing ourselves, we're going to have the crime that we have in our city. We have to come together as one community like all these other safe suburban communities do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We just started our newscast. Could you reiterate what's happening at this scene right now?
Sure, we'll do that separate. We'll do it separate. Ready? So.
You want to move there after work and you can dive right in.
Ready?
Already.
We'll start it from the top.
All
right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald with the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division. And right now, our patrol officers and detectives are on the scene of a double homicide. How did we get here in the investigation? Yesterday, our patrol officers and Special Victims Unit detectives investigated the missing persons cases of 2 20-year-olds within our city. An adult female and an adult male. The family was able to provide the vehicle that they were last seen driving, which was a white Ford Taurus. They supposedly left to go to a movie theater on Valentine's Day and had not been heard from nor seen since. Our Special Victims Unit detectives worked this case all throughout the night, all this morning, and just before 4 p.m., their investigative tactics led them to the 4100 block of 10th Avenue, Wylam, where we have observed the white Ford Taurus parked. Upon further investigation, officers observed a young adult female inside that white Ford Taurus and a young adult male inside that white Ford Taurus. Both appear to be suffering from a gunshot wound. Here in the investigation, we have no suspects in custody, and from everything that we've observed, we do believe this is probably going to be our missing couple. Sad news in Birmingham.
How long is it going to take you to maybe get that information confirmed?
Shouldn't take long. We have the coroner himself, Coroner Yates, on the scene. We're in the process now of notifying the families. So we hope to make an identification and bring somewhat of closure to the family as far as the missing person searches go.
Can you confirm that those two were in that car? Like, is there confirmation there were those two people that were missing?
The adult female and adult male who we found suffering from a gunshot wound in the vehicle are believed to be our missing couple. Not confirmed, but we owe it to the public to give them closure. We do believe this is going to be our missing couple.
Can you go in detail about how many people we lost? I know we talked about that earlier. Just
Yes, sir.
Reconfirm that how many people we lost and how important this today is historic. It's unfortunate.
Sure, I will consider this day as one of the most historic days in Birmingham. We have lost 6 of our brothers and sisters to violence in less than 24 hours. We had a shooting in North Birmingham near the 900 block of Center Street where we lost 10 of our Birmingham brothers to violence. 3 passed away on the scene. 1 passed away in surgery at UAB Hospital. While that shooting investigation was going on, our detectives were making strides in this investigation, and we were updated that an adult female and an adult male were discovered suffering from a gunshot wound on this scene. That makes 6 of our community members lost within 24 hours in our city.
What do you say to the families? You know, you said this is a historic day. When's the last time Birmingham has seen a day like this? And how do you even inform families that their loved one's not coming home?
There's no way that you can address a family who has lost a loved one except give them the facts. That's all you can do. Give them the facts. They deserve the facts. And you just try your best to learn as much as you can about what led up to us losing their loved one.
You said something earlier dealing with Birmingham. Everybody's shooting aside, but when it's going to become our city. Can you say that again to us one more time?
Yes, sir. One of the biggest issues that we have in Birmingham is when crime takes place in our city, we do our best to disassociate ourselves from the area where that crime is taking place. And an example of that is often when we speak to individuals of our community that live on a particular side of town, like the east side, and you try to talk to them about an event that took place on the west side, some of their first comments are, well, that happened on the west side, that didn't happen on the east side, and vice versa. The issue that we run into is there's only a matter of time with that mindset that crime visits your doorstep. Until we start thinking as a community, until we start thinking as one entire city, you're going to continue to see what we have been seeing in all 4 of our precincts, not just the west side, not just the north side, 2 of our precincts that have been affected by violence to date. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Can you stick with me? I got the costing us right now.
As long as you need me. As long as you need me.
I'm just gonna ask you 2 questions.
Sure. Come on. This scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
come on.
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to Truman for this hit.
We're going to have you. We're going to bring you in.
Bring me. Got it.